Hey Tony, it's Friday, and first off, to answer your question of the week, yeah, we actually are getting some pretty crazy weather right now. It's been raining the past couple days, but this evening it ended up dropping on us a wintry mix, and I came back from the store, and it was a little rough, a little dicey. So yeah, we're getting some pretty crazy weather. We're under a winter storm warning for a few days, and we had a nor'easter last weekend, which didn't turn out to be as much as people were saying it was going to be. But
It was worse in Boston. They had 2 foot.
yeah, it was also worse in Hartford than it was here in Western Mass. But you probably didn't hear Taylor, but Boston got hit harder than we did with the nor'easter, which isn't surprising. They tend to get hit a little harder. We have some mountains around us that keep us safe from a lot of crazy weather, which is good. And Boston, Boston doesn't have the same benefit. But yeah, so the weather has been fairly crazy the past couple weeks. It was really cold. The past couple days it's been warm and rainy. Warm for February and rainy. Yesterday was actually just warm. It ended up being like 45 to 50 yesterday, which was crazy. But today it was a little cooler. We hit about 30, about 35 most of the day. But towards the night we've been getting a wintry mix. I was looking out the window to see if we had anything, and it's snowing a little bit right now, but not as bad as it was, half hour ago or so. So what I want to talk about this week is I don't really have much to talk about, so I'm gonna do my next round of podcast recommendations because there are a few new ones that I've started listening to that I think you might like. I know full well you're not actually gonna listen to any of these podcasts because that's not your thing, but they've been pretty good and ones I've certainly enjoyed. So the one that I've listened to pretty regularly lately is Legends of the Old West. Now I might have mentioned this one before. I'm in a previous video because I've done several podcast recommendation videos, but it's been good. Been enjoyable. It's kind of tells the true stories about some of our American legends of the Wild West, and I've found it fascinating. Really, music's really good too. Like top-notch music. So that's one that I've listened to that I certainly enjoy. One that I think you will like an awful lot, Tony, because you're a weeb, is Anime Fix. So Anime Fix is actually run by one of Taylor's the husband of one of Taylor's best friends. It's been really cool. I don't listen to him all the time, but I listen to him enough. And they've done some episodes on they just recently Spirited Away. I think they just did My Neighbor Totoro. They did Death Note before. They've done Genshin Impact, or not Genshin Impact. RE0 I think is what it's called. Sorry, it's not an anime that I've watched, but it's really good, and you should support some friends of Taylor and I's because they're good people, and I think you would really enjoy the podcast, honestly, Tony, because it's anime, and I know at least you used to love anime, and I think you still do, but correct me if I'm wrong. So I definitely recommend Anime Fix. And one of the other podcasts I've listened to a lot lately is one that I'm not sure it's necessarily for you. It's one I think you might like, but it's also one you might not. In that it's called Welcome to Night Vale. Now, Welcome to Night Vale is it's not an old podcast necessarily, but it's been around for a few years.
Josh, it's over 10 years old.
Wow,
Welcome to Night Vale.
Wow. If you heard Taylor, Welcome to Night Vale is over 10 years old. I didn't realize it's been that old.
It was around when we were in college, 2012, 2013.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's not that old. It's 10 years old.
I'm old. I'm old, Tony. I'm old. But no.
Keep feeling older when the baby comes.
Yeah, I know that's true. But no, so Welcome to Night Vale is really good. It's really fun and creepy in kind of a lighthearted way, and I think you might get a kick out of some of the narratives of it. But it's one I've really enjoyed, and one of my favorite portions of Welcome to Night Vale is actually related to the weather, and it's called The Weather. So what the weather is for Night Vale is they get a bunch of they get a small name band, and they play a song for the intermission. And it's really good. Sometimes the songs are excellent, other times they're just good. But I've really enjoyed Welcome to Night Vale, and I think it's one you might enjoy. luckily, you can basically jump into it whenever you want, because there is kind of a general outline of it, but it's not as like definitive as like here's the start, here's the end. But it's one I think you might enjoy, and it's one that they just had their 200th episode about a month ago, which is pretty cool. And it's enjoyable. It really is enjoyable. It's one I think you will. One I think you would like. And it's fun. It's creepy in a fun way and fun in a creepy way, because it basically the narrative of the show is it's a radio program by Cecil, who is the voice of Night Vale. And the idea behind Night Vale as a city is it's a town in which every single conspiracy theory you can think of is true. And it's really cool. It's really well done. It's really fun. And again, the weather portion is one of my favorite portions of Night Vale. They have like a traveling tour that they go all around the world for, that they're starting up again in 2022, assuming COVID numbers drop. And it's just fun. Like, there's nothing else I can say besides it's just fun. They've gotten some pretty solid names to be able to come in for a cameo or such. One of them is, if I might be dating myself again here, because I don't know if you've actually seen the movie, Tony, but did you ever watch Matilda when you were a kid? I don't know if you did, but I watched it a lot. And the actress who played Matilda has a role in Welcome to Night Vale, and her role is great. She is the faceless woman who lives in all of our homes. And it's just like stories like that are just kind of fun and kind of like spooky and things like that. But it's one that I really think you would enjoy, and I really heavily recommend it. Definitely watch Anime Fix. I think you would really like it. And Legends of the Old West might not be your thing, but it's one that I've certainly enjoyed a lot. And there's one final one that I think you might like a lot, Tony. And it's called National Park After Dark. It's kind of like true crime, kind of supernatural, but it tells true stories of events in national parks. I just started listening to it the other day, and it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. The first episode was two true crime stories, and another one that I just listened to recently, or I'm starting to listen to recently, was about Mammoth Cave and some of like the ghost stories about Mammoth Cave. Now, you and I have been to Mammoth Cave, and Mammoth Cave was pretty cool. It's been a while, but I think you would enjoy National Park After Dark. So, Tony, my question for you is, are you still into anime? Because I know you used to be. I don't know if you still are. But Tony, I'll see you on Tuesday. Later, bro.